Hi guys, welcome to Photography Takeaway with Laura. We are on episode 6 now, I think, potentially. I don't know, I'll link it anyway. But we're going to talk about multiplicity today and how to use layer masks in Photoshop. Okay, so I'm going to show you a time lapse just here. I use my husband as a subject, but of course you can use yourself and use a self timer. I just didn't want to have to run with the camera only having a 10-second self timer. Now, I did this first one on the bench, but I could see the shadows on the paving stones were going to be an issue. So we opted to do another one in the field. Now, this is my husband looking at what that is in the field. It was a birthday balloon. So I told my subject where to stand to try and get them to stand apart from each other so it would be easier to edit. Now we were working in direct sunlight, which might be an issue in Photoshop later on, especially with changes of light and trying to get them to blend together, but we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. And I just took about 6 photos on this one. I can't remember, we'll find out in a second. And I'm just directing my model around the field. Okay, so to start the editing process, the easiest way to get all your layers together is to go through scripts and then load files into Stack. And what this does is you choose your files and it will load them as individual layers, which is super handy. It did take me a really long time. I had to go and get a coffee whilst I was waiting. It took about 3 or 4 minutes. Now these were raw files. It does take a while for the layers. My computer isn't the fastest. But yeah, so you might have to wait a little while, but don't worry. I apologise, that was my cat in the background. So what I'm doing here is just going through all of my layers, checking where the people are stood so I know where to erase. Now what I'm doing now is I'm going to add a layer mask, and for this, because we're trying to erase the whole background to reveal the next person, I'm going to invert my layer mask. Now with a layer mask, what happens is if you paint on it with black, it will get rid of everything that you paint. If you paint on it in white, it will bring back your original photograph. So it is worth... my cat, honestly, it is worth just having a little play around and getting used to it. The reason we use this over just erasing the picture is because you can bring back anything that you've missed, which you'll see in the next edit. Now that I'm finished, I'm just going to flatten my image and move on to the next one. Okay, so as I said before, I did this one first and realised the shadows were going to be an issue, and I was right. This one took quite a while. I had to do quite a lot of precise layer masking and it was really difficult with a mouse. So if you do have a graphics tablet, which I don't, then it would be really beneficial. So you can see here as I'm erasing using the layer mask, I'm having to bring back certain shadows. This isn't going to be really precise. I should have thought before I photographed it. It was a lot easier to do in the field. And also our picnic bench isn't the sturdiest, and therefore when you were sitting on either side it was moving, so that was a bit of a pain as well. But we used the layer masks again. I inverted them and just started to bring back some of the other pictures. It was all a bit trial and error, to be honest, but yeah, have a little watch and see what you think. guys, that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Now your task for this week is to try your own. Now I know this isn't going to be possible as everyone doesn't have access to a laptop, but I just want you to try your best. If you can do this task, I'd love to see how you got on. I also have a worksheet for this as well, so it's a step-by-step on how to do this if you find the video a little bit confusing, which I'm not surprised, but I can link that on Microsoft Teams as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video and this Photoshop tutorial, and I will see you next time. Bye!